Hey everybody, welcome to Nation. My name is Jersey, and you are here. What is up? Today, we are going to be talking about pricing. Why you price what you price, how you price what you price, all of that fun stuff. But first, if it's your first time here, what's up? My name is Jersey. Have a look around. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully it doesn't suck, and you might want to watch some other episodes. We got well over 80 episodes. It's been going on 80 straight weeks, plus, longer than that. So go back, check it out. Not all of them are bad, so go back and listen. YouTube, it's everywhere a podcast could possibly be. Make sure to thumbs up if you're watching the video on YouTube. Share the concept if you feel like it. That would be amazing. And most importantly, I want to say what is up to all of the elite, the nation. I want to say what's up to the cool kids. If you are part of the nation, that means you watch every episode or listen. You've given us a thumbs up on YouTube. You comment. You've sent me texts and emails saying what's up. And most importantly, you have ordered your supplies through me. Then what is up? It is because of you that I put the mid-grade fuel in my car the other day. So thank you. If you want to order your supplies through me, that would be most epic. My number direct is 862-312-2026. Please give me a call. Big or small, doesn't matter. I'll get the order in for you. That's how I make my cheddar, so that would be amazing. So, quick batch of shout-outs. By the way, if you want a shout-out, just go on YouTube, be like, what's up, comment something awesome. Tell me you want a shout out. I don't care. Comment, share it, do everything. Be some kind of epic, and I'll give you a shout out. But this week, M&M window washing. What is going on? David Rodriguez, the man. What is up? You are in my top 10 favorite people. Brad Hyatt, what's going on? I love Brad. He's on every single episode. He comments. I love it. Keep it up. I appreciate it so very, very much. And Philip Humes, what's going on, man? Out there in the Bahamas, just probably freezing, it's awful weather there. But what's going on, man? Go ahead and put a comment, too. Whenever we do drawings and giveaways, it always is pulled from those comments on YouTube. So even if you listen to this as a podcast, go there, say what's up, tell me my nose is crooked or my hair is messed up or something. I don't care. Just say something. It helps the conversation go. And make sure to click the thumbs up. That would be most awesome. But anyway, on to today's episode is I don't even know how to really name it. I don't know what the name's going to be when it comes out. But it's basically how to price. Now, pricing is pretty straightforward. You get it. You kind of understand simple pricing, right? You've heard the $10 per window or $5 per pane. That's kind of, common. $1 a pane per side and route. But the whys is really it. Now, last week, if you didn't check it out, go back and listen to that episode. It is about raising your prices. And no, it's not we all should make $500 an hour because that's why we're awesome. That's not what it is. Raising your prices to stay making the same, having a healthy company, not the longer you're in business having worse and worse accounts because you have never raised your prices. You have to raise your prices. Go back and check that out. But it got me thinking, and I had a couple really good conversations with some people from the episode, which, by the way, if you ever want to do that, seriously, text my cell, 862-312-2026. Shoot me a text, be like, what's up? I watch the show. I want to talk about this. I want to see an episode of it. Go ahead, text. Lots of people do it every week, and I truly, truly appreciate it. It's amazing. But we were having some really good conversations last week, and it was basically in the, how do you price and where do you base your pricing kind of on. National averages are all fine and dandy, but every area is different. Now, I have a lot of really amazing customers that are in Hawaii, and if you don't know anything about Hawaii, everything in Hawaii costs more. Everything. Shipping is ridiculous. I got a guy who shipped a trailer unit. He ended up getting it from another guy. Shipped a trailer unit pressure washer out there. Cost him $6,000 something in shipping alone. Everything costs more out there. So their cost is going to be a little bit more. They're going to charge a little bit more. And it's a little bit more expected. But if you are in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, and you're charging X amount is not going to be on par with Bethesda, Maryland, or Beverly Hills, California, or Hawaii. It's just not. So it's very hard to go kind of off the national average. But with pricing, you can't be wrong, right? Every pricing kind of has a specific feel to it, but if you think you can get more, try it. I always tell people this is kind of one of those tips that sounds really, really almost hokey and, one of those internet things like, hey, sign up for our course. It's not what it is. But listen, if you think, even if you don't think, because most people think they can't, go and increase your prices just to see where you're at. I guarantee you'll close just as many if you raise your prices. That's one of those things that if you go from $10 a window to $12 a window, try it. The biggest thing is with pricing is that you need to sell why somebody's paying what they're paying. Now, we already know that we're a luxury business, so we could really charge luxury prices. Think about it. You're talking about a couple $100s to basically get bird poop off windows, right? That's what we do. If you're cleaning houses, you're getting the green off the siding, right? That's what we do. But we're a luxury. No one's house falls apart because it has dirty windows. No one, has to quit their job because they have dirty windows. It just doesn't happen. We're a luxury. The sooner you get that kind of into your head and into your mindset, the better off you'll be from here on out. We're a luxury. We are 100% a luxury. Even in a route side, it's a luxury. Now, would you lose business if your place is filthy? Yeah, but there's a lot of filthy places out there. Go look at like the bowels of Walmart. Go in there and look by the carts one time and tell me it's not the grossest thing you've ever seen. Some places just don't care. The places or the reason is why they've sold themselves. Walmart sold themselves on being the lowest. They didn't sell themselves on being the cleanest or the best represented in any of that stuff. They just didn't. They sold themselves on the lowest, and people are expecting to go in there and only to get the lowest price. That's the only reason people go there, Sure, they're big and there's big selection, but the real reason is that you can get the same stuff somewhere else, but it's probably going to cost you a little bit more. So with that being said, that is what Walmart's doing. Now, I always tell people kind of this theory on pricing, and here it is. I want to sell you something right now. You've heard the whole sell me this pen. It's genius in selling side of things. But here's the thing. I'm going to sell you something, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to sell it to you, and you have to pick one of these prices that you're going to buy it from. It's either $1, $100, or $1,000. This thing you don't know what it is. How much would you pay for it? Well, you don't know what it is. So $1, right? That's the lowest loss. Okay, it's not worth anything. I don't know what it is. If I told you it's a brand new Ferrari, well, of course you would then pay $1,000 and you'd probably buy 2 of them at that price, right? Until you understand what it is you're buying and the reason that you're paying that much for it, then it's almost impossible to sell yourself. You're only selling a price. So pricing things like that is hard. Now, if you want to go and make $100 an hour as a window cleaner, yes, there are guys that do that. If you want to do that 8 hours a day, every single day, and yeah, we've all had those jobs where we've made, $180 an hour, in those couple jobs, but it's not regular. But if you want to make a regular $100 an hour, you can certainly do that. But the more you charge, the more you need to be a salesperson to sell them why they're paying that to you. Because at a certain point, price doesn't matter. But the problem is that point is very far away if you're charging $500 an hour, right? If a doctor charges X amount an hour to save your life because you are having a heart attack and you're going to die, and a doctor comes in and performs it, no one has ever been like, oh my gosh, hold on a second, what do you charge per hour? I need to see reviews. Wait, okay, let me ask another doctor real quick before you start. No one does that because they just need it done. They need it done, and price is not as important as being alive, okay? Yes, it's kind of a drastic side of things, but that's really what it all comes down to, is that somebody's focused on something other than the price. Now, when you price a storefront, or residential, or a commercial, those are really kind of the 3 big kind of tiers. There's different pricing for each of them. but there's different reasonings for the pricing and different ways that you can educate people on why they're buying you. But here's the thing. As I've said again in the past, is that you cannot sell yourself on the cleanliness of your windows. You cannot say, oh man, I clean the windows the best. My windows are so much cleaner than the other guys, because it is an accepted fact that your windows are going to be clean. It is the same reason that somebody who, say, is cleaning your carpets does not come in and say, well, we clean the cleanest carpets in town. I'm going to make your carpets are going to be so clean. That's just, because that's not what it is. They expect everything to be clean, and clean is a term that is the same. If something is clean, it's clean. Yes, now there's micro levels, I guess, of clean, but clean is clean. You can't sell on that. So saying to somebody, well, why do I want to hire you? Oh man, we are the best cleaners. We make sure there's no drips. I will never break anything in your house. I won't kiss your wife, right? You can't sell yourself on things like that are expected. It is expected that you're not going to do that. It's expected you're not going to steal. It's expected that you're going to make a clean window, and you're not going to drip on their nice white counter, and you're not going to break their grand piano. Those are expected things. You can't sell on that. But the price comes into why they're picking you. And if you don't have a USP, a unique selling proposition, unique selling point, whatever, there's something wrong in your business, in my opinion. And because if you don't know why you're selling or why somebody's choosing you, then the only thing they can focus on is the price. When you see guys in the forums and Facebook groups, which we all know that there's trolls all over, but when you see them jump in there and they start getting these big arguments like, I'm lucky to get $22 an hour. I can't charge more than that. Well, no, because you're only charging a price. But if you have a fan as opposed to a customer, then you can charge more, because price is not the biggest concern when they know they're getting you. Mike Geller said this is really good. Geller is a window cleaner, and he was a magician. Somebody told him one time, they said, be so good that they're hiring you because you're Michael Geller, not because you're a magician. Okay? Break that down for 1 second. As if somebody's hiring you who's listening to this right now, and they hire you because there's only one you. There's only one of your company. And they're not going to get anything else than you, then, it doesn't matter what you're charging, because there's only one you. There is no other option. But if they're just getting clean windows, and that's all they care about, and you offer clean windows, what else do they charge? I don't know. They clean my windows. Why didn't you go with those other guys? I don't know. I didn't get a price yet. It's only based on price. Only based on price, because that's all they have to go by. If you get the windows are clean, and there's 3 things lined up, each company cleans them. It's assumed that they all clean them. It's assumed that they're all the same, levels of cleanliness, and they're all not going to kiss your wife, and they're not going to drip on your carpet, and they're not going to break anything. They're not going to steal your VCR, if you have a VCR, right? That's all assumed. Then they're going to pick the lowest price. And that's where some guys really get stuck in that trap. Now, when you're new, you don't quite understand that you're unique. You don't quite understand that you are who you are, and people are going to pay to have you. Very confident people do, but most people don't. So what they do is they base off this price, and they go, well, $20 is a lot. I've never made $20 an hour before. I'll go off that. They just throw these prices. Well, I know national average is like, the low end's $50 an hour. My company's usually 65 is really the low end of our hourly that we bring in. And people go, well, that seems awful high. Well, okay, now you're focused on price yourself. You're going to screw yourself out of money because now you're focused on price. But once you start getting busy and you have a lot of work, all of a sudden it doesn't make sense to do something for any less, right? That's why in the beginning people they pick up dog poop, they polish marble, they do all this extra stuff, is because they're just trying to get money. And any kind of money coming in is better than no money coming in. But that's where you start getting unhealthy pricing. That's the big one. In pricing, when you know who you are, you know why you're being sold. Here's another quick kind of analogy. Is if you're at a barbecue, we'll say party, whatever. And this little kid, everybody's playing out there, busy road, and this little kid is running towards the street. And you see he's running into the street. There's cars all over the place, and you have just a second to stop that. What you do is anything possible. If you're standing in a group of people, you will push through people. You will knock stuff out of their hands. You will do everything you can to jump over and catch that little kid before he goes in the road. That's a fair assumption, right? You're going to save this little. You're not just going to watch and go, oh no. You're going to do everything you can to save this little kid. Now, why did nothing else matter? Because you knew that of any other choices, I don't want to knock that person's plate out of their hands. I don't want to spill Mikey's beer, right? All that stuff didn't matter because the one thing that you knew for certain was that kid needed to be stopped at going into the street. You knew that. Anything else that happened, you just knew that that's what was going to happen. That's the same thing in sales. Is when you know for sure that you're the best, you're the reason they should go with you. You have no self-doubt. You know that is the only reason that they should go through you. It is so much easier to then convey that to the next person. If you have doubts and say, hey, you know what? I'm good, but XYZ over there, man, oh man, they're awesome. They do really good. Gosh, I'm not as good as them. Then you start second-guessing yourself, and you will not put yourself in the same tier price-wise as the other person because you feel as though you're not worth that price. That's hard. Anything psychological is extremely hard, especially when it comes down to self-worth. Kevin Dabrowski, which I'm sitting next to 3 of his books, he wrote a lot of stuff there, and he says that why shouldn't somebody make $500 an hour? I'm going to grab it. $600 an hour. I lied. Look at this. $600 an hour. That's the book. This is the second edition of that book. But he says, if you're listening, that was just really weird, but I just showed a book. It just had a cover on it. Anyway, no, I don't think that book's in print anymore anyway, so people are always looking. But it basically states that why shouldn't you make $600 an hour? Now, we've all made crazy amounts an hour, and it's very hard to kind of sustain. But the big thing is to get over the mindset that you're not worth it. That's the hard part. That's the really, really hard part because, like I said before, when you throw out doctors, right? Doctors, lawyers, anesthesiologists, which are like, all these people have such specific things that they can do that are so important that it doesn't matter what they charge more. You go, well, I'm not as valuable as a lawyer, right, who can save me from going to prison forever. I'm not as valuable as a doctor who can save me from... But you're focused on the wrong thing. Your mind is creating its self-worth. That's hard. That's the hardest part to change this thing. National averages are great because you can see what everybody else is charging. You go, okay, great. Got a guy getting a glass renew system. Awesome system. Awesome dude. He says, well, what's the going rate? I tell him, you're charging 50% cost of new window. So if a window is $1,000, it's $500 to take the scratch out. He goes, what? I couldn't charge that. I couldn't. It's too much. I couldn't charge it. We'd be way under that. These are expensive windows. Okay, so right there, I've told you what the average is, and this is nothing against him. Super good dude, but this is the mind, the process basically. He said, I can't charge that. That's way too much. Well, why? Because there's 2 options to either get it fixed. Well, there's really 3 options, but there's 2 options to getting this remedied, to getting their pain solved, the pain of this place, this commercial property, or this house that is looking. They paid for this view. There's scratches all on the window destroying what they paid for. They're destroying their view. There's 2 ways. It either gets fixed or they buy a new window. If a new window's twice as much, what option do you go with? You could go with a new one, but if I said, hey, I could do the exact same thing as you replacing a brand new window, I mean, obviously there's not blowing seals and things, for half the price, they're going to go with you. Now, this is not exploiting people's for their money, but you're understanding your worth and where it comes in. If a scratch is in a window, do they need to replace it? No. A scratch does not change efficiency, and even if it did, it would be cheaper. A blown seal is crappy efficiency, but that does not change the fact that the change in efficiency, the cost of that, is lower than the cost of you replacing it. But it is a luxury. If somebody wants to take a scratch out of a glass, There's two options: replace it or fix it. That's it. With those two options, you're now limited to not what the price is. You're comparing the two things, but getting the exact same kind of version. And it's very easy then when you can sell yourself based on that price. But the price itself, you could charge, you're making $250+ an hour, even more doing that. A lot more, actually, on that simple window, depending on what kind of scratches. You could make that, say it's a $2,000 piece of glass, you're going to charge $1,000. You can make that $1,000 in 40 minutes, right? But the magic wand has happened and they got their glass replaced. So thinking of it that way is it's just very hard. And I know all of us are in business. Some of you that are new maybe are still struggling with this, but a lot of you that are into business go, well, I'm charging the most I could possibly charge. Bull. You don't know that. That's not something you could possibly know. I could say that I'm happy with my close ratio the way it is, but then what I can do is also improve me selling myself for what it is. Now let me go over that on these specifics. So route, we're at $1 a pane per side. Okay, people go, what? That's so cheap. You're a resi guy, right? Yeah, but okay. So a route means that I'm cleaning that window weekly. I'm cleaning a week's worth of dirt. The course is going to take me next to no time. I'm cleaning that, and I have that year round. So if it is a weekly account, I do that job 52 times in a year. Because it's weekly, it's not monthly. 52 times. I'm doing that job 52 times a year in our industry. That's awesome. So besides all the things, that I love route. So that job right there is harder to spend, to get them to spend $10 an hour, because the Bucket Bob, the next guy that's behind you, is the crackhead that's doing this for beer. They're cheap. That's where route is very, very cutthroat. But the reason is that people go in there is they don't sell themselves on the reason that they are more than the Bucket Bob. Super hard thing to do, again, because sometimes people just don't care. If you go, hey, I wear uniforms, I don't smell like a dumpster, our trucks are all brand new, our equipment is top notch, it's state of the art, I am here 24 hours a day, here's my phone number, if there's ever an issue, I am here. This is our life. This isn't just something we do on the side. We're going to make this perfect for you, and it's going to take a hat off of your head and things that you have to worry about. It's now my job to make sure that this gets done every single week, regardless of weather, regardless of circumstance. I'm going to take all that. That person you could sell them that, of the ease, the pain you've just taken from them of having to deal with the windows all the time and having to have Karen over there in accounting go do the windows because she owns a school. All of that gets pulled out of there. That could be awesome. They could still go, yeah, but you're twice as much, right? So here's the thing. The money on that side of things is stronger than the sell. So it's always a potential. But if you are a good salesperson, if you can sell yourself, you can sell so much better on the money, because we're not focused on the money. Once you pull it off, it's the Ferrari thing again. $100, $100, or $1,000. Once you know what it is, it's way easier, right? Ferraris kind of can sell themselves. Yeah, there's a lot of other cars out there too. My wife always makes fun of me for saying the Ferrari thing, but everybody knows what a Ferrari is, man. That's why. But I always say too is that if you're going to do sales, which all of us sell ourselves, all of our sells ourselves. I sell window cleaning products, which, by the way, if you'd like to buy any window cleaning products, 862-312-2026. But you're selling yourself. You're selling your company. You're selling your window cleaning. You're selling your business. You're trying to create fans, people who want you, regardless of what the price is. They're not focused on the price. You're not going to screw them by charging $500 an hour, right? But they just want you. A fan of somebody is like Apple, okay? Unfortunately, as you see, Apple, everything. I have an Apple phone, an Apple Watch. I have the brand new iPad. I am recording right now on an Apple Air. I have a MacBook or iMac right behind there, right? But the point is, I'm not a huge proponent of what they have. I can see that they're not the best company out there. Yes, they all work great together. Don't get in this. Well, send me an emails. That's fine. We'll talk about it. But I'm not necessarily a PC guy or a Mac guy. I am now officially a Mac guy because everything I own is Mac. But with that being said, I know that there's better stuff out there. But when you're a fan, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that a Mac costs more. It doesn't matter that there's phones out there that are 10 times better than this phone. It doesn't matter that the iPad tablet that I have is $1,500 and I could get a $250 tablet, right? It doesn't matter because nothing else is an Apple. Nothing else is a Mac. I'm recording on a MacBook Air because it's the best laptop, in my opinion. I understand that there's better features and there's better things and stuff, but that's the one I want. I want Apple. Now, I know that might say something. I'm not the guy that stands in line. Trust me. I wait until things come down in price. But I know that they all work together. I know that I want everything on one platform, and they do exactly what they're supposed to do. I am a fan of Apple. Now, I don't focus on price. I don't go, whoa, man, that tablet is 4 times as expensive as the other tablet. I don't look at price. I go, oh, God, the prices went up. Yeah, I'll take one of those. Oh, with the Apple Pencil and the Fabio case or whatever the stupid thing's called, right? You focus now on the item. There's fans. It's the same thing as a concert. Somebody in a concert is going to play the exact same songs off their CD. You own, I should say CD, that makes me sound old, their album. You own their album. But yet you're paying potentially 10 times, 20 times, 50 times more to go sit in a big giant room where that song is playing. Yes, I get it that they're singing the song and they're dancing around and lights are going off and people are screaming the energy, but you're a fan. You're a fan, and that's why you don't care about the price and you go to these tickets. Man, oh man, if so-and-so comes into my town, Dave Matthews Band still tours. They haven't had a new album in years, I don't think. Maybe they're just not relevant. I don't know. People still sell out all the time. They go to the same places, the same thing. It's that they have fans. Creating fans, people don't care. Now, in Resi's easier than Route because there's not some bum walking up behind you trying to pick that price off. But again, a window technically is 2 panes, and a double hung would be top and bottom, right? In those top and bottom, you have 2 panes or side-by-side and crankouts, $10. That's the starting for the kind of standard pricing. And then screens go up, sills go up, that kind of thing. But charging that price, explain to them why. The why on what you charge, if you want to charge $15 and then add screens and stuff on top of that, do it. If you just want to do screens and sills on every single job and charge $15, then guess what? You can sell on the fact that you do that because the next guy doesn't. It's not a cleanliness thing. It's all the extra things you do, right? So selling yourself on it makes a huge difference. In commercial, it's the same thing. There's always a budget. So they will look. It's the 3 bidding. If you get into a 3 bid, it's very hard to do a thing with commercial without building the relationship. You have to have that person, the property manager or the building owner or the blah, 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 has to be in love with you. They have to be in love with you and they have to be a fan of yours to charge what you need to charge. I've been in jobs. I go, man, you are $2,000 more than this other guy, but we're going to go with you. I said, wow. I said, well, I truly appreciate that. We try to bid as competitive as we possibly can, but what made you choose us? And he goes, I like you. Like, you are a down-to-earth guy who I can talk to. I know you have zero BS. You're not trying to get the sale. You're just trying to offer your service. Like, find out what these people want to do. It's hugely beneficial to find out why somebody chose you. Commercial's hard. You got to build the relationship. But with all of them, you have to have fans and not customers. That's the biggest part. So that was my rant. That was an interestingly diverted episode. But anyway, I truly appreciate you checking out either way. If you haven't, I'm going to give you a code right now that if you order through me, you get 5% off by using this super secret code. The super secret code this week is money. There you go. It's money. This week it's money. Tell me that 862-312-2026. Shoot me a text. Tell me everything's in your cart. Tell me that you want to just order through me over the phone. Text me. It doesn't matter. But just make sure you're letting me put the order in for you. That is awesome. Thanks to everybody who listens and watches and thumbs up the video and shares the content. Really, guys, you really, really are very, very much appreciated. So keep that up. And yeah, let me put your order in. Like I said, it would be the biggest version of a high five. So go out there, and until next week, be epic.